All right, Ruthless fans. Well, this video, I don't know if it's going to be lengthy because I feel like if you follow me on social media, you know I've been talking about Ruthless since the finale aired last Thursday. I did a post about what was it, 8 or 9 reasons why Ruthless season 1 is the best Tyler Perry show right now in regards to what we've been getting from Tyler Perry for the past year or so. It's like I said before, I'm not saying Ruthless season 1 is better than the every season of the Haves and the Have-Nots or Loving You Is Wrong or Sisters or Oval. I mean, like, in terms of recent Tyler Perry, well, I guess the easiest way to say it is the Viacom era. It's like, basically, I feel the same level of interest and intrigue in Ruthless season 1 as the Haves and the Have-Nots season 1 when it originally aired in like 2013/2014. That's the easiest way to put it. Now, please don't ask me, well, Jeremy, what season was better, the Haves and the Have-Nots or Ruthless season 1? Have and Have-Nots. It's just because of the fact that I feel like because the show's been on for so long and unfortunately we've seen a decline, it really made the first season shine brighter because you could really tell the effort, quality, and commitment Tyler Perry had to that particular show. Now, what makes Ruthless such a standout show is the fact that despite being a spinoff and despite Tyler Perry working on damn near half a dozen shows and whatnot around that same time frame where he was working on Ruthless, it's almost like how I feel when I do videos, because it's not uncommon for me to record, edit, and post damn near like 10 videos at one time. And well, I don't want to say the quality of some are extremely better than others. I guess it comes down to runtime, if I'm rambling, and if the algorithm promotes one video over another. But it's like I'll put out 10 videos and maybe, they all do like maybe 1,200, 2,000 views, but there might be that one that just skyrockets to like 50,000 views in like a week. That's almost like how I feel with Tyler Perry, because the notorious video he did around this time last year in January 2020, where he put out that clip of the mountain of scripts he had for all the shows, basically all the Viacom stuff. Young Dylan, Ruthless, The Oval, Sisters, Bruh, and whatever else. I don't know if he had Have and Have-Nots and the Loving You Is Wrong. I forgot. But basically it was just a table full of scripts, and it's like out of all those shows, oh yeah, House of Pain, Assisted Living, out of all those shows, I feel like Ruthless was the one that stood out the most because it just had the best quality in terms of the acting. Let me pull up the Instagram post because I pretty much listed it out right there. And also, while I'm doing so, please take a moment to hit the like button, hit subscribe, click the bell notification icon and select all. That way you don't miss out whenever I post new content to the channel. And please follow me on social media. Links are in that description box below. Now, I'm just going to run through these real quick. And once again, these are 9 reasons to me why Ruthless is the best Tyler Perry show right now. If you don't feel the same, I completely understand. Ruthless is a bit out there, but I feel like that's what makes it good, because kind of like the Haves and the Have-Nots, when it first came out, it was something unlike anything we had ever seen from Tyler Perry up to that point. You could argue that For Better or Worse is a similar-esque show, but considering I never really watched it religiously and it seemed more of a comedic show than the Haves and the Have-Nots, I feel like the Haves and the Have-Nots edges it out in terms of a genre we never really saw. It was a nighttime soap. That's the best way to put it. And Ruthless is just like, I don't know what the hell inspired Tyler to do this, but it just seems so intriguing that it caught my attention. All right, in no particular order, I'm just going to read through it. Escalating threats. I mean, we learned that Lilo and the cartel are the true masterminds behind the compound, and hopefully season 2 could bring new enemies to the table. The lives of the children are on the line. This show feels like the stakes are real because one misstep could be deadly. Every episode brings a new level of tension because the characters never know who they can trust. The cast chemistry is amazing. Whenever there's a nod to The Oval, it's a big deal because even though Ruthless is a spin-off series, it is strong enough to stand on its own. The compound is such a threat that the freaking FBI is on the case. Of course, the theme song itself is fire. Easily the best Tyler Perry theme song. Well, technically, it was made by Anthony Bless, aka Malcolm, on the show, but easily the best theme song. I mean, are there really that many Tyler Perry show theme songs that actually have lyrics to them? I can't really think of any. All right, the acting is always on point. I have to say, in terms of consistently good acting, it's easily Ruthless above everything else. And then finally, the post says, this is a show. Oh, I've already said this. Because the show is something unlike we've ever seen before, it really stands out above the rest. So, in my opinion, I just feel like, Ruthless is so different, yet I have to watch it every week. It's like I have to find out if Ruth and Tally will get their kids and leave, but I don't think that's going to happen. I feel like, well, not anytime soon, that is. I mean, well, we know what happens to Tally, but when it comes to Ruth, I feel like it's interesting because I feel like she's going to stay in the compound for the sake of getting even and taking a place down herself if possible. So another question that I was asked, and I would have done a separate video on it, but it seems pretty unnecessary because it'll be straight to the point. Jeremy, between part 1 and part 2 of season 1, which one was better? That seems a bit odd to me because I feel like when I give my opinion, look, that post I just made pretty much encompassed all my thoughts on season 1 as a whole. It's great. So splitting it in half seems a bit weird, but I will say that I would have to pick part 1 over part 2 in regards of if I had to pick 12 episodes, because season 1 was 24 episodes. Obviously 12 and 12 is 24. I think part 1 was better because of the fact that it felt like each episode we were kind of going deeper and deeper into the compound, the inner workings of it, as well as getting a good understanding of the challenges that those on the outside are facing when trying to bring the cult down. Can Andrew be trusted? Is Lynn going to leave Brian to go to the compound? What about Cynthia and Sarah? Their friendship. What's going to happen when Cynthia finds out about the affair and whatnot? So it's almost like part 1 was obviously introducing us to the characters, getting a feel for the threat level that the compound presents to those who dare, I guess you could say, attempt to leave the hive mind. And it seemed impossible for Ruth and Tally to win. And honestly, if there was one thing I wish the Oval didn't do, was showing us so early Tally escaping then killing herself. Not just for the sake of the timeline thing, but the fact that it just feels like we know what we're building up to, so it kind of decreases the amount of anticipation. I mean, it feels like we know what's coming, so it takes away from the, oh wow, are Tally and Ruth going to escape? Well, we know Tally does, but for what she kills herself. So I would have to say part 1 is my favorite. Part 2, I'll never forget when like Deadline released the article with like the list of new characters. And I'm like, oh, this is cool. And then I remember reading the character list and I'm like, wow, it looks like a lot of people want to leave the compound aside from Ruth and Tally. I didn't mind new characters. What I felt was what really kind of brought the season down, and not by much. If you go by my scores, I was still giving a lot of 8s during the back half of season 1. I just felt like the episodes became so repetitive. I mean, Tally and Ruth, whenever they had scenes together, it was just the same thing about recapping. Oh, I talked with Daikon. Oh, I checked on Paula, or, Zane, or, this and that. So it just felt like they were recapping who they could trust and who they couldn't trust. And you could definitely see the newer characters in the same boat, trying to figure out, oh, I'm trying to get out of here. So it's like these newer characters who want to get out of the compound are obviously new to the compound because they have no idea the extent of what would happen if they're caught trying to leave or betray the compound. I mean, to me, I feel like out of the newer characters, I think Lilo and River are my 2 favorites. I remember Clark was in the first half, but they gave him a bigger role in the second half, and I like his dynamic with Oliver and Daikon a lot. Zane, Paula, and Lacey. I like those characters, very attractive. But it's not just that. It's just the fact that I can tell these young girls are probably going to be quote unquote mentored by Ruth. And Oliver is just a trip in himself. He's like a male Tally where he lets his emotions get the better of him. So I don't mind the new characters. I just felt like we spent way too much time at the compound in part 2, just doing the same thing over and over again. Because to me, the most interesting parts of part 2, especially when it came to Ruth and Tally, was seeing the fractures in their relationship, their friendship. Because it was almost like, all for one and one for all. And now it's almost like I want to get mine, because Tally, I feel, don't get me wrong, Ruth has been taking chances, but Tally has just been making some very stupid mistakes, from taking the spark plugs to asking about Andrew directly to the highest face. And no, I can see why she eventually tries to break away and then ends up the way she does, because she just wants to take things to her own hands, and that's not the best. And that's kind of weird, especially because she was an elder before Ruth. Remember, she got stripped from her rank of elder after the botched attempt to steal Callie. From wrecking the car, even though that's technically Daikon's fault. So pretty much she ended up being punished and all, while Ruth is being elevated. So it's just weird to see her in a position where she's no longer calm, cool, and collected. And also, during the first half of season 1, we really saw the highest as like this guy in charge. But during part 2 of season 1, we saw the facade of who he really is, thanks to Lilo. So I'd say that overall, for between like the elder mother, she's something else in herself. We got multiple elder mothers now, but I just feel like part 1, I'm sorry, I keep wanting to say season 1 and season 2, but I think part 1 edges out part 2 because less is more. We had less characters, yet it felt like things got more and more intense because of that. But then when you introduced all these new characters, it's like we're just getting the same thing over and over again. I'm going to escape. I want to escape too. Can I trust you? Oh, this is a setup. So yeah, I definitely say part 1 was the superior part. Let's see here. It's hard for me to even give episode recommendations. You really got to watch them all. I really say you got to watch them all. What makes this show so intense is, that one wrong step means doom for, I don't even want to say our heroes. I guess you could say those who are trying to defect. I guess it's the best way to put it. So, yeah, who can you trust? Will you make it out alive? Will the compound ever fall? And now we got the, oh snap, Lilo is dead. So now if the cartel shows up, what's going to happen next? So I feel like that was perfect setup for season 2. See, now the right time to say season 2 came about and I messed it up. I just think Ruthless is great. To be honest, I think in recent episodes, I finally, for some reason, notice like the little details about like the women's robes, and like Daikon has like the best outfit. I love like the all black look and everything. Maybe I'll tweet out like, yo, can I get a robe or something, or a Daikon outfit? That would be nice. I ain't gonna lie, I wear it. But yeah, that's really all I got for this video. Like I didn't feel like there was a need to do a play-by-play like, oh, these are the best episodes. No, I got an entire Ruthless playlist. Every episode, I have done a review on it. I've done a bunch of theory videos. And remember, BET Plus, we don't get like next time on Ruthless. We don't get that. So there are no trailer break. Well, technically, there are trailer breakdowns, but only when it's like, oh, part 2 is coming or something. So with season 2 possibly coming out in March, we'll most likely get a season 2 trailer. When we do, I'll definitely break it down. Just the amazing cast I love. Well, not just Ruthless, but pretty much all the Viacom shows, the cast have been phenomenal on social media. It's like the way I interact with them is how I wish I could have interacted with the haves and the have-nots when the show first came out. But I guess because obviously I got a bit of street credibility, if you will, online compared to like 2014 when I was just doing a blog. I guess that's probably why I'm able to interact with them so frequently. But I think Ruthless is a show you should check out. I get it. Some people have told me, Jeremy, I tried to watch, I couldn't get into it. And that's absolutely fine. It's like the people who recommend certain shows for me to review. I watch an episode or two, but I'm just not feeling it. I understand if it's not for you, it's not for you. And that's why I always pride myself on the channel. I'm never going to review a show I don't like. Well, then again, House of Pain. Well, I mean, I'm never going to review a show that feels like work. I want to review shows that when I watch it, I am intrigued to see what comes next. I can do videos about it and then talk about it with you all. So that's what makes this so enjoyable to do. But let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. What were your thoughts on Ruthless Season 1? What were some of your favorite moments? Who are some of your favorite characters? What do you hope to see in Season 2? And we can go from there. So with that being said, if you would like to donate to the channel, feel free to do so on PayPal, Cash App, or join Patreon for as little as $1 a month.